Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live. It is Friday. Finally Friday. How is everyone, y'all? How are you guys? Good. What a day yesterday. What a dump, man. What a dump. Hope you guys caught some of that. The question of the day is the bottom in? We literally talked about this yesterday, guys. If you're following another channel, name one more that told you that dump was coming yesterday. We didn't necessarily know it was going to complete yesterday, but yeah, we gave it to you guys. We gave you the exact dang target, and we nailed the target almost to the dang dollar. I'm going to show you what we covered yesterday and try to figure out what happens next. Go ahead and hit up the like, thumbs up the video, guys. I would appreciate it. Answer the poll. There's a poll in chat. I want to know what you think is the low in. Or do we have more downside? Or are we just going down forever? Let us know. Max, what's up, big dog? Big Max. Y'all don't know Max is shredded. Max is a workout guy. I've seen Max's social media. Max is a big dude. Thanos, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Yesterday was scary. Salt Chain says, morning, Carrie Benz. Howdy, West Coast. My main man, West Coast. Hawkborn, looking forward to this today. Yeah, we're looking forward to this today, too. Hang on, let me check 1 second, guys. Check something. Let me slide this over just a touch. All right, yeah, we're excited for today. We're excited. I think we got an exciting next few weeks coming up. We kind of talked about this yesterday. I'm going to hit you with a little flashbang here real quick, guys. No news today. There's nothing today. I showed you yesterday, and my man, Carrie Benz, corrected us. But yesterday they were showing unemployment rate report today, and he let us know yesterday that had been rescheduled until February 11th. So I think that's next Wednesday. So we'll look for unemployment report next week. So no major economic news today, guys. So may not have quite as much volatility. We've had enough volatility in the last 24 hours to last us a week. So I would welcome a little choppy kind of day today. Let's go over some. How did everyone do yesterday? Everyone make some money yesterday? If you didn't make money yesterday, then something is seriously wrong. You need to get in our Discord. I was giving you trades, guys. I even gave you the altcoin trade. We hit about $8,000 on that so far. I'm going to show that to you as well. It's the last 2-day total. I'm sorry. $3,700. That was from Wednesday and Thursday. So $3,700 up, guys. We are $3,700 up. That is just on our trading of Bitcoin. That is not our altcoin trades. So yesterday, if you were in Discord, hang on one sec, guys. Hang on one sec. I'm sorry. Bitcoin moving down here, guys. Let's drop down. I want to cover something with you guys. But let's look at Bitcoin here. Looks like Bitcoin is dropping. A little lower time frame market structure change here. We could be looking for a little. The U.S. might be coming back to get some of what Asia and the U.K. gave you. So it may not be a terrible idea to TP around here. We're going to talk about that, though. But if you're in a trade, you of course, if you've moved up like 10% or so, whatever Bitcoin's moved up, more than that, I think. We'll look. You should certainly have taken profit by now. We set an alert. He already got an alert set. Okay, we're good. We good. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, when we're looking at our altcoins, guys, I gave you this yesterday, guys. I did Max. This is a long one. Bear with me, guys. I'm a slow reader. Along near the bottom last night, still in that trade, taking profit and stop in profit. I also bought alts when you did yesterday. I'm up over 4K total today. Thank you, Anthony Lee. You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. Yep. I took the trade last night, too, at the very, very bitty bottom. I'm going to show you. I actually lost $13 on it. And like, how do you lose $13 on like a 10% pump? I managed to do that. But it's not really my fault. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I'll tell you about it in a second. Anyway, so let's look at the altcoins. I told you yesterday where we at. I came in when I longed Bitcoin yesterday. I longed near the bottom, near-ish to the bottom. We made some money. I was posting all that stuff for you guys. You should have seen it in Discord. But I also said yesterday at about 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Central Time, I am spot buying some alts here to trade. I do not, in all caps, think this is the bottom, but I do think we could get a good bounce here. I'm buying $50,000 worth of WorldCoin. We did not at the time have any of my altcoin trading strategy signals, the ones that I'm going to do in the bear leg and bear market with you guys. This is only because I'm looking for a potential big bounce on Bitcoin and alts. First of all, I do not give financial advice. I just tell you what I'm doing. But if you happen to follow some of my moves, and this was not clear enough for you that I expected a big bounce from Bitcoin and altcoins, then I don't know what to tell you. So if you do follow my moves and you didn't follow this one, I am sorry. You need pull the trigger practice. So I bought $50,000 worth of WorldCoin yesterday, and I just sold. And you can see here, that's where I bought yesterday, exactly what I told you I did right here. Where were we at? And then I sold it just a little while ago for $56,935. So $7,000 profit, guys. $7,000 profit on that bounce on WorldCoin. Just a spot, not even leverage trade. Spot trade WorldCoin. $7,000 we made, guys. To go on with our $3,000 in leverage yesterday. So we're up $10,000 in the last 24 hours. Congratulations, those of you who took these trades with me. Congrats. And for the non-believers, we were, I don't know if I posted in here or in this chat. Join our Discord, by the way, guys. Join our Discord. I was posting my trades yesterday. I was up about $1,000 on this one I posted. This was along from 62.7. This was a good one, made over $1,000 there. I was posting these trades yesterday, guys. So I was taking them. I was giving them to you the instant that I took them. Let's see. Anyway, just letting you guys who are not in the VIP Discord know that I was giving you these the instant I was taking them and the step-by-steps as I was walking through them. Here's another. So join our VIP Discord. Flashbang, guys. You can join below, or you can go directly here to AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. From there, you can join the VIP Discord, and I also offer live Zoom one-on-one mentorship. You can get everything you want to get there, AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. Come see us, hang out with us. If you're not subscribed to our channel, be sure you subscribe to the channel. You go right here to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. And right here under the description, there's links. You can just click that, and you got the Discord links. You got my trading links. I trade on KCEX, KCEX. You see the banner above on the screen, KCEXtrading.com. Also on MEXC, MEXCtrading.us. Those are the two exchanges I trade on. And then Kraken Pro right here. That's where I spot trade on Kraken Pro. You get free money and free everything when you sign up using these links, guys. But join us. We'd love to have you. Love to have you guys. Good job for those of you. Good job, Max. Good job, Max, up 4 Gs. Carrie Ben says I was asleep last night and missed the whole dang thing. That's all right. It won't be your last chance. That's all right. Let's go take a look, guys. Let's see. Bitcoin kind of bouncing. We came down here, bouncing a little bit now. We'll see what happens. We could take the rest of the day off, and we're still up 10 grand in the last 24 hours. That's all good. It's great to be a trader, guys. I hope you guys, did any of you take my altcoin trades? Besides Max. Max already said that he bought alts. Guys, I gave you these alts yesterday. From here on out, on the bear leg down, if Bitcoin's going to bounce 10%, your alts are going to bounce 20% or more. Okay? You can leverage trade Bitcoin. You can spot trade Bitcoin, but your money is in spot trading altcoins. It's not always that way. It just is on this next little cycle segment. And I know they're riskier. I get it. So I would not try to spot trade them when Bitcoin is not on a significant bounce. When Bitcoin's on a significant bounce, ride the coattails of the altcoins. John did a little trade on World yesterday too. Good. And World is probably going to go higher from here. I'm going to show you what I think as far as that goes. If you did get some of these alts, I do have a target, but I just sold because I was up like, I don't know, 13%. So WorldCoin's up 13% right now, and it was up more than that. We came all the way up here to almost 41 cents. So I just sold. Even though we could still go higher. That's okay. We have changed market structure on some time frames. So, but not all time frames. So be careful. We are not out of the weeds yet, guys. We have not changed market structure on any significant time frame yet. Okay? Yet. That's not to say we won't. But we haven't. So as of now, we are still in a downtrend on Bitcoin, altcoins, everything. Okay? Don't get it confused. And anybody that tells you that we're going up on Bitcoin and we're going to change market structure, they're lying to you. It might work out. Yeah, but it's a coin flip. They don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows until it happens. Again, this goes back to the whole, let me show you. Your job is not to figure out where it's going right now. Your job is to be ready when it gets there. This is the 4-hour time frame. We got a low here that we set yesterday. Boom, a low there. And we got a 4-hour kind of swing high there. We're in the middle. You have to get way up here above 80K, 79K before you change market structure on any significant time frame. I mean, look, all of these bounces, people thought, oh, okay, here we go. This is the one. Nope. Lower. Okay. Just kidding. This is the one. Nope. Okay, this is the one. Nope. Be careful. Anybody that tells you we're going way up here to 90K and all that, we're still in a downtrend, guys. This is a good bounce. Yeah, this is a great bounce. But we haven't done anything. Nothing. Your market structure is up here. Okay? And here. That's your range. We're in the middle. You don't try to figure out where you're going. You just be ready. If you come down here and you swing fail that or you swing fail that, you be ready. You enter your trade. And then you take the big trade. And little take profits along the way, right? That's how you trade. You don't trade middle of the range. If you do, you're gambling, you're coin flipping, and it might work out for you, but it might not. U.S. market is just opened, guys. Let's take a look. Before that, we have, if you run along this and you do think we're going up, we have changed. I know I sound all doom and gloom. We have changed market structure on a lower time frame, okay? So you had these series of higher lows, lower lows, lower highs, right? You see all this? And you set the final one here. We did take that out. So we are now in an uptrend on the low. This is a 10-minute low time frames, okay? We're in an uptrend. So if we're going to continue this uptrend, let me go to the 15 and see where we're at there. All right, we did change. We did change on the 15-minute time frame too. So what you would look for, we could just continue up from here. We could straight continue up from here. We're fighting with the Bybit point of control now. I'll show you that in a minute. But what you would really want to look for a good trade, your trade is here. Your trade is not here. Okay, guys. What you'd want to look for is a pullback. Okay, continuation. You want a reaction here. You want a reaction in confluence wherever you pull back to, and we would fib that to try to get a little better guesstimate. If you were to pull back starting right now, I mean the 382. You see them. You see the fibs. But right here around the point of control is the golden pocket. That's the KCEX point of control and some other exchanges point of control. Bybit point of control is way up here. So much different range. Bybit seems to be a little more reliable right now, although you did have some traction right here. So it's tough to say. It's tough to say. This is an impulse move down. It's very tough to say what's fixing to happen. So we're just going to be ready. Salt chain, did we officially hit that range that aligns with the second circle on the circle chart? Good question. We're going to go over that in just a minute. Good question. So guys, if you want to trade, if you feel like we're going up and you want a little more reliable trade, for me, I wait for pullback continuation, okay? We've confirmed a lower time frame market structure change, but not a medium term and certainly not a high time frame, okay? Now that we may not get a pullback. We may not get a pullback for a while. And that's okay. You just miss out. I'm sorry you missed this. But you just have to miss out, in my opinion, if it were me. I missed this. I actually took this, and then I closed it and lost $13. I'll show you in a minute. Catherine and I were going to meet some friends for dinner last night. We never, ever, 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 ever go anywhere. Like, we're like hermits. We just stay home. And we were going to go meet folks, and we literally, I'll show you the time too. We literally pulled into the parking lot. Bitcoin is like here. And we're literally pulling the parking lot, and Bitcoin goes in like a 3-minute candle. And I said, oh gosh, this is it. We hit the daily level. We SFP'd that. We came down. We tagged. Let me show you what we tagged, what I was looking for. Let me go to the Bybit chart. I'm on the Bybit chart. This is the weekly. Let me go to the daily. We tagged the Bybit value area low. It's the Bybit value area low. You can see the range way back here. From this range way back here, February of 24 through November. So 7-month range. We tagged it to the dang dollar. Hit the daily level. Tagged this. I entered a long. I longed it. I nailed the bottom. I'm going to show you. I nailed the bottom. And we were going to this restaurant, and it was very volatile at the time, you know, before it kind of moved up and out. And I looked at her, and I said, I really don't want to fool with this right now. I said, I'm going to have to watch it for a little while until, you know, I either get stopped out or we pull up on a way, and I can put some stops in and take some profit. And we're going in with friends, and I didn't want to be rude. And I said, I'm just going to close it. So I just closed it. It was like at a break even, but it hit me with the fee, so I lost $13. And we come out of the restaurant, and Bitcoin's up like $6,000, and I was like, son of a... It bees like that. So now I'm stuck with you guys. I'm not trading. I'm in the middle of the range. I'm waiting. I am waiting. I do think we have more upside. We're going to discuss that. But I'm waiting for a pullback continuation. If we get it, great. If we don't, it is what it is. I just miss. West Coast entered that long, but had a stop set too tight. Yeah, you had for this one you would have had to, if you were looking at the Bybit chart, which I always transfer my levels, Bybit levels over. You would have had to have seen and recognized and that we bounced from the Bybit very low, and you would have had to have set a stop below there. No exceptions, especially since this is a major support. It's the Bybit value area low. You would have had a stop below there. And I just, for me, I just didn't want to fool with it. Because like the one time out of like every 3 months we go meet folks for dinner, this happened to happen as we're pulling in the parking lot. If this had happened an hour earlier, I probably would have canceled. I would have been like, I'm sick. Anyway, it is what it is. I can't complain. We still caught the alts. That's another thing. If you're distracted and you think we're going to bounce real big like that, and you just don't want to mess with a leverage trade, but you know we just hit a good level and you're certain we're going to bounce, and you just don't want to mess with levels and stop loss and TPs, spot trade you some alts or spot trade you some Bitcoin and just ride it up. Yeah, you may make less, but you'll still make money, right? That's the goal. Bitcoin pumping here, guys. We're at 68K. Bitcoin pumping. All right, let's take a look at the chart we looked at yesterday. This could reverse, guys. This could be that false move at the U.S. Open, looking for 845 reverse. We have every reason to reverse here. Asian UK trended straight to the upside. It wouldn't surprise me to see the U.S. come get it, which is what I'm hoping for. Asia low here. Pullback, continuation to the upside. This fib has probably changed. I would like to see this golden pocket line up with this point of control. Let's see if this fib should have changed with this move up. There it is, getting a little closer. So I extrapolate this sometime. We could come on up here, maybe even SFP this right here. Which would give you a point of control right here at the, a golden pocket right there at the point of control. Look for a good pullback, long entry, continuation up. Okay? Something like that. That may not happen, but you have to plan. This would be shortable too, guys, if you come up here with the divergences and the reaction. You could short that SFP if you had what we're looking for. Well, let's see. We might take it. Let's see. Let's put a line on there and an alert. All right, so if we come there, we might look to take that trade. Let's go ahead and get a game plan. Will we have divergences if we come there? Let's go to the hourly. Not really. Getting some local divergences. Yeah, we will have it on like the 6 minute. This could be a good trade, guys. This could be a good trade. I would want to see that high taken though. But you can see we got it on locally here on the 6 minute. As of now, unconfirmed. Could be a good trade if they take that high. Or they could just bring it back here. Got the Bybit point of control right below us. Bitcoin pumping, guys. We called this in the Discord yesterday. We called this short also, guys. Did you guys take it? I'm going to show it to you. This has been on the chart. I gave this in the Discord. If you guys in the Discord aren't taking these, you're just not paying attention, not financial advice. I'll show you. This has been on the chart, guys. I'm just going to turn it back on. I'll turn it back on for you. I say that. Let me refresh. It's not loading. All right, let's see. This has been on the chart, guys. There it is. We don't need a second one. We didn't come up there. Gave it to you in advance, guys. It's been there. We haven't hit my actual target yet, but pretty dang close, guys. Pretty dang close. Enough for 24% of it. Gave you guys this. Let's see. I think that was on February 2nd. There it is. Right there. No, I gave it to you before that. That's when we came up to it. That's when we came up to it. There it is. Right there, guys. Before we came up to it, had the dang red box, had the target on there, and if we broke through that, my next target was up here. We gave it to you right there. We came right up into the dang red box, right up into the zone. Given to you before we got there, February 2nd. So you guys had the level, guys. You had the level. You had the level. And we came right up into it. Let's see, this was on a lower time frame. There we go. That's what we gave you. I mean, nailed it. Nailed it. There was a red box here too. Anyway, guys, good trade. Those of you that caught this, good trade. Proud of you guys. All right, so let's go look at the chart we looked at yesterday. This is interesting, I think. Okay, so we showed you this chart yesterday. I added some information, some text to this, but we did give you this yesterday before the dump, right? You guys were here. You remember, it was before the dump. And I told you on the left is 2022, on the right is current, and we are on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. It's on the daily on the right. I'm going on the daily on the left. All right, daily time frame. Okay, so what the red vertical line represents is the day that we got the 5 EMA, the monthly, excuse me, we got the monthly 5 EMA crossing the monthly 13, okay? No matter what everyone else keeps saying, no matter what everyone else keeps showing you, this is the bear signal. Now, we were in a bear market before. We got in that in the Gaussian channel. I put a video out on that a few months ago. But this is the bear leg, the last bear leg signal. We've been in a bear market. But this is the signal for the last leg of the bear, okay? We've been talking about this for a couple months now. Anyway, this represents where we got it. Even though I'm looking at the daily, these EMAs are set to monthly, okay? So that's where we got it. That's our alarm. We got 8:45 in 1 minute. All right, and so what I did was I went back through 2022 and 2018 bear leg. I call it the bear leg. And I measured out how many days it took for us to hit the target, which was the monthly 55 EMA. Now, that's not the ultimate target. That was just like big target, but we every time have gone below it. But that's kind of the technical target, if you will. In 2022, it took 35 days. I have it all here on the right, 35 days. And then 40 days, we actually bottomed. So 5 days later, we actually bottomed. So had a little bounce, came down and bottomed, okay? That was the bottom. Now, I did show, full disclosure, I did show that we actually later set another bottom. However, I don't think this is a valid bottom. I know, okay, it did go lower. Yeah, it's the bottom. But we had bottomed and we were winding our way up out of here, and go look at all the metrics. Everything looks bullish. Money flow's coming up. Momentum waves coming up. We got divergences. We got dots. We got stochastic. We got everything we want to see. And then the FTX scandal came out, and that was just a big old massive capitulation wick, okay? So, I mean, without that, and I understand it happened, but without that, technically, this was the bottom, in my opinion, okay? And it lines up perfectly with 2018 also. So we were looking at this yesterday, and we were 16 days after the cross, 16 days. And I told you things are speeding up this cycle. We're way ahead. We're at this point way sooner than we were at this point here. I said we're going to get there faster. I didn't know we were going to get there yesterday, but we did, okay? We hit our technical target, which was the 55, which, by the way, let's go over here and throw on our good old trusty Lionheart indicator. Throw on the old Lionheart indicator. Lionheart monthly signal. We've only ever had 2 of these before. This is the 3rd, and it did confirm target acquired yesterday. Okay, target hit. Boom. Close the trade, and we got the bounce. So excellent trade, guys. Those of you that took this Lionheart trade, very, very good. All right, back to business. So let's go look at 2018. I can't remember what month it was. Let's go to October. I think it was November, but we're going to go to October. Okay, here we go. That's not correct. All right, here we go. We're in 2018. So we got the cross there. God, Bitcoin is ripping, guys. Bitcoin is ripping to the upside. So you got the cross there, right? So from there to the 55 monthly EMA, it was 26 days. Once you hit that, you got a 26% bounce, okay? And I have all these numbers here on the right, which is what we want to use to compare. So you got a 2018, you got a 26% bounce, followed by a total of 35% bounce, okay? And what this covers is, I think I viewed this on the weekly, but you got the initial bounce from this big move down, kind of like the one we got yesterday. You got this initial move, then a bounce. see where I pulled this from. Right there. So as soon as you hit the 55 and you bounce from there, you got a 26% move up, followed by a 35% move as you came back down and set a low, and then you bounce for a 35% move. Okay, so 26 and 35, right? All right, let's fast forward here to 2018 or 2022, excuse me. All right, so on this one, you got a 24% bounce followed by a 35% bounce. So very, very, very similar numbers, 26.35, 24.35, okay? And what you did was you set a low, just like we did yesterday. You set a low, you bounced about 25%, then you came back and set another low, and then you bounced 35% on both of those, and then you hem-hawed around here for the bull market or the bear market before moving up and out, okay? This is what you got both the previous cycles, and I know previous activity does not predict future performance, but so far it has been playing out exactly the same, guys. And I even have the number of days that it took. And from the cross into the very bottom, it took 47 days and 40 days, okay? We're on day 17 right now. So you could get this over the next couple of weeks. It actually took about 2 weeks before you hit this first 26% bounce. Took about 2 weeks, about 12 days actually on both of them was 12 days before you hit it. So you kind of chopped in here kind of like this, and then on day 12 is when you started to move down for the next low, 35% bounce, and then you just chop for a few months, okay? I expect the exact same thing, guys, exact same thing. That's how we're playing it. That's how I'm playing it. I'm going to play the alts the same way. So knowing that we have another move down, I went ahead and sold my alts this morning that I had bought yesterday, made that $8,000. And I'm waiting for the next leg down, okay? Even if we move higher, I'm cool with that because I'm fully expecting new lows on everything to come before moving up and out, okay? Now, I think this is going to come pretty soon. Everybody's looking for a fall-winter bottom, and I just don't think so. I think we bottom in March. I think we bottom in March. And then I think we get that 35% rally that's going to take you a couple of months. That's going to take you to end of May-ish, and June, July, August, just sideways. Sideways, just nothing. Summer months, like always, boring, boring, boring. And then the fall, I think we start moving up and out. That's the way I think it's going to happen this time, guys. And everyone thinks it's the timing thing. You know, it's got to be a certain amount of months, a certain amount of days, and I agree with that. But I think the timing comes from these major crosses, from these major signals. Not necessarily just the number of days, just because it's the number of days. Not to mention, you gotta realize that the halving, if you're going on a 4-year cycle based around timing of halving, the halving was much sooner this time than it has been in years past. So everything's kind of sped up a little ahead of schedule. So, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's just how I'm playing it. And I would love your feedback if anybody has contrarian ideas or if you agree. Bitcoin's really moving here, guys. So let's take a look. If we were to get that about 25% bounce from the bottom, which you got a 26 and 24 previously. So if we're going to get a 25% bounce, where would that take Bitcoin? Assuming that was the low for now. You're going to be looking at about a $75,000 Bitcoin, guys. $75,000. Then you come back for one more low. And let's go see. Let's go to our little more bear chart here. Bear, like not so clustered. All right, so we'd be looking for a move up to about 75K. It's going to put you right about there-ish. So you're basically testing this area here. You can see it clear as day. Perfect, perfect back test. Actually, this looks really good. That's what you want to see, guys. You want to find confluence in areas. That's about 74K. So right in there, guys. You see it. Okay, somewhere in there, that is our high that we set back here. Our original high before we pulled back down before continuing up to all-time high. That was our high right at 75K. You back tested that, bullish back tested that. Once you did come up and set a new high, that is a good target. Okay, I think we probably find resistance there. It was good resistance here. It was good support here. I think it'll be resistance again. Matter of fact, that would look really good actually. And then we come back down. And what would be a good target to the low side? Let's fib bottom to top. And it's just good to be prepared, guys. It's just good to be prepared. We could come right back into this golden pocket, or even lower, the 702. Last cycle, guys, we came all the way to the 786 last cycle. We could easily do that again. It's going to put you down around 40K. We did that last time when nobody thought we could. But I think a good, reasonable target here is probably going to be, anywhere right in here. I'm a buyer at 55K, okay? So I think we then come back something like this, somewhere in here. And then we have a 35% pump. Let's assume we kind of get it from there, right at 55K. 35% pump. Takes you right back to there. Takes you right back to it. Look at this, guys. And it may not work out this way, but you want to find things that match. Okay, this is what we've done all previous cycles. That's 25%. And then both of the previous cycles, your second pump was 35%, which takes you right back to there. Like, how is it 25 the same as 35? Because you're starting from a lower point. Because every cycle you've come and set a new low and then bounce. And then what does that do, guys? Let's remove these fibs. What does that do? I mean, you're then setting yourself a range. You're going to be range trading right there. And look, it matches very close to this range we had before. Maybe not the volume profile, but it is the range. Look at that. Look at these wicks. That is your range. And we could just range this for several months, just like this, before we moved up and out, okay? I actually think this is very legit shot right here. I'm going to save this because I could see this. But don't pay attention to the timing of these arrows, guys. That extends us out to like 2029. That is not what I'm implying. I'm just showing you direction. I'm not showing you time frame. I like this, guys. Try to get you a little better time frame too. There. There. My mouse is acting all janky. Something like that, guys. All right, and then I like us to just chop for a few months. Chop, 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 chop. Just like that. I don't know what's up with this mouse. I'm gonna save this. We're gonna refer back to this. What do we call this? Range prediction 2026. Lock it up, turn it on and off. There it is. We're going to come back to this, guys. We're going to see how well this plays out. Yeah, West Coast cycle seem to be sped up. Yeah, it does. It seems to be very sped up. I'll tell you what's weird. It seemed slower, right? It seemed slower as we came up here, because look at this time, okay? I mean, look how extended out this is versus this, which was straight line up. But the way down seems much faster, right? See, this is so far, which we haven't gotten there yet, but so far it's kind of like, and this was spread down. So that's really kind of weird how that happens, right? So far. But I do agree we're sped up. Let me save this chart. But look how perfectly we bounce this buy bit value area range, y'all. Perfect. I mean, perfect. John said a buy order at 48K. We'll see. Salt chain, I definitely think we get caught in that range for a while, given how much time we spent in that range last time. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in that range. Let me turn this back on so you can see what I just drew out. I mean, look how much we spent 7 months in the range right here. 7 months. So I don't think this is just a dip in and dip back out, and I don't think it's just a crash all the way through either. I mean, this was good support and resistance. You can't dismiss this. So I told you yesterday, I said we want to hold this high, 70K-ish. I said we want to hold the high. I said, you know what happens when we get sucked back into that range? It's like a magnet. Point of control, boom, you lose that, value area low. You know the law of the volume profile. So it is, and it's playing out just like that. So we're in this range. We're probably stuck in this range. I do think we probably come to, you see the highs every time in this past time we were here, every time. Almost every time, we came above the range, okay? This is just a volume profile. It's not the range, right? The range is the swing high and swing low, right? So you set a swing high, boom, right where the white line is, and you got a swing low. That's the range. This is the volume profile, which means that's where the most volume was traded within that range, okay? So all we've done is marked out our range again, and the ranges add up perfectly with the last two cycles, percentage-wise, as far as once you moved here and hit this level, the bounces and the retracement and the bounces, it's perfect. It lines up perfect with this range. And it doesn't mean it has to happen that way, but gosh, it sure does look like it's going to. And you'd be surprised when you start getting the deep historical technical analysis how much it actually plays out when you look at things like this, days and percentages. As long as you're staying with relatively current price action, don't go back and look at 2014 when Bitcoin was worth $40. That doesn't apply. Those moves don't apply. They're not relative at all to today's price action. Do you have any questions before we move on? Remember, those of you who are watching Bitcoin move up today, you can do whatever you want to do, but if it's me, you can't long from here, guys. You can't long from here. You haven't broken any market structure on any significant time frame, just low time frames, okay, which is great. You have to break the lows to break the mediums. You have to break the mediums to break the highs, okay, but you haven't gotten there yet, okay? So for me, I want to see a pullback and then continuation up. We just came into this zone right here, this resistance zone, support and resistance zone. You see it right there. We just came in there, finding a little bit of resistance here, coming back towards the buy bit point of control. If you lose that, let's fib this now that we've moved up today. I would expect to move lower. I mean, it moved up exactly where I just told you it would. And then I said I would like to see a move back, and don't think we can't come back. I think if yesterday would show you we very much can come back this far in one day. I would like to come back here, even if it took us until Monday or Tuesday, hit this golden pocket, which is also the point of control, and then I would look for a long entry here. I can't long this, even if it goes straight up. This is a low probability trade. And yeah, you hit those every once in a while. But you do them every time and you're going to lose. So this is how I'm playing it, guys. So I'm sitting on my hands until then. I might trade the weekend. You know, I might do, especially if we, this is so dangerous to say after the last 2 Saturdays. But, you know, you generally don't get much price action on Saturdays. The last 2 Saturdays were like 10% candles down, though, both of them. I don't think that'll happen this time. We're coming off such an extreme impulse to the downside. I just think this market's going to settle down for a few days. So I think the weekend will be pretty calm. So depending on where we finish today, if you come finishing here, you might get to see something like this through the weekend. Okay, and I might would trade that range. But short of that, I'm waiting for something like this. Maybe a 382.5 pullback. I'll look for the reaction and divergence. I mean, we could come get, you see you got some good support resistance right here. You could come find some support there. Come into the 382.5 and then go. So we don't have to come all the way down here. And that's the thing. I don't care. I'm just going to be ready when it does. I don't have to predict which way it's going right now. I just have to be ready. Let's take a look at the poll, guys. Got the poll in chat. See what you guys think. The question is the Bitcoin bottom in? 58% say nah, a little more downside. 42 say not even close, another big dump. Guys, expecting a big dump, not even like a little move down. These guys are expecting a big old dumpola here. Hang on one second, guys. I'll tell you what I think. Hang on one second. All right, I'm back. I think, let's go back to our chart here. I think we come down here. I think this is going to be it. I was leaning a little more towards, let me fib this again for you guys. From bear market bottom to bull market top. So I know in previous cycles we've always come to the 786. We've always come to the 786. Everybody's thinking, oh, there's no way we come to 40K. There's no way. You could say that, but you'd be sounding just like everybody else who said that every other cycle, and we did. So I'm not going to sit here and say there's no way we go to the 786. It is very possible. I just don't really... Gosh, I hate to even say it. I just don't think so. I don't think so. I think we would front run that. I think I really would like to see this 54, 55K, this range. I would like to see that hold, but I don't think it holds. And I'll tell you why. We got a good unmitigated wick right here, and it's a good one. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, it's a good unmitigated wick right here. It's at the 702 at 48.5. I just think we probably bounce this range like this, and then right there towards the very end of the range, this is how you're going to know you're leaving it. I think it's going to go bing, bing, just like that. And you're going to take out this wick, 702. You're going to bounce to 702. That's what I'm calling for. That's what I'm calling for. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that on the chart. I'm going to put that on the chart. Let me go to my folder here. We're going to put that on the chart. That ALC is predicting this. And again, I'm not predicting the timing of these lines, okay? So we're going to circle this. I think we bounce, 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 and I think we go ding, ding into the next bull run. Timing, again, pay no attention to timing. It's just an illustration for price action, not timing of price. That's what I'm calling for. So we're going to refer back to this in a few months. We'll see if we're right. West Coast says Bitcoin is zero this Saturday. Listen, after the last 2 Saturdays, it wouldn't surprise me. Saturdays never do anything, y'all. I don't know if y'all trade weekends. I know a lot of people don't. Saturdays never do freaking anything. Never. Like, never. They're just like the most boring times ever. And then, all of a sudden, last Saturday, you get this. And the Saturday before that, weekend before this was Sunday, excuse me. Weekends never do anything. And then all of a sudden, 2 weekends in a row, you get huge dumpolas. This one, the first one was, well, I guess it wasn't as bad as it looks. It seemed way worse. Seemed way worse at the time. Maybe because I was trading it. It was about 4%, and then this one was bad. This one was a 10%. Either way, you never get a 4% move on a Saturday. Ever, 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 ever. You're going to go 4% move down, followed by a 10+% move down. It's crazy. It's crazy. What we got going, guys? Bitcoin still just kind of hanging around in this area, finding some support at the Bybit point of control. I could see this thing settling down. Settling down. I hope it settles down. It needs to settle down. Sure, a few days, little consolidation. WorldCoin moving up. I shouldn't have sold my WorldCoin. I think I sold it at 39 cents. We're at 40 now. I can't be like that, though. Got to sell. This thing will pull back eventually. We have not set our lows on the alts, guys, I don't think. I do think everybody, a lot of them already have, but I think everybody takes out their October 10th wick. XRP up 22% on the day. I hope you guys took this trade. I know we got some XRP folks in the house. When I told you I was buying alts, so it would have been a good chance for you XRP guys to buy. Don't worry. I think we're coming much, 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 much lower. I told somebody the other day that I was looking for sub 120 any freaking day now. I think I said that when it was like 160. And we hit 112. So nailed that. But I'm looking for much lower on XRP, guys. We have not even come close to recovering this imbalance. So XRP is coming way lower. But this is a good bounce. But I do think coins come and retest some of this underneath side here. And then I think we come down. Something like that. So you're just going to continue your higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Just like that. But good bounce. Good bounce on most of these alts. Anybody have any alts we want to look at here? The ones we follow are good. H-bar up 15% on the day. H-bar took out October 10th. Algorand took out October 10th. Solana took out October 10th a long time ago. You didn't really get much on October 10th. Gosh. Dogecoin took out October 10th. West Coast says Atom. Is that right? Did I type that in right? Yeah. What is this? What am I looking at? Well, let's change charts. Apparently I don't like that chart. Atom Getting green dots on some of these alts, guys. Good little moves. Adam took out October 10th. Let's take a look at Adam. I don't know that I've ever looked at this chart. You got to be near the range low, probably below the range low, but let's see. I'm on the weekly. Yep. Just wicked the range low yesterday. I'm on the weekly time frame. You did so with bullish divergence. I just don't think this is it, but this looks good, actually. This looks good, but I don't think the low is in for Bitcoin. If the low is in for Bitcoin, I would think this is actually good for a move up. I just don't think the low is in for Bitcoin. Still deep in the red in the money flow here. You have an all-time low back over here, about $1.08. Could come take that out. Probably do. This actually doesn't look bad with this low you just set. Look at my WorldCoin low. I don't like the WorldCoin low. I want to take this October 10th. That's what I'm waiting on for WorldCoin. I'm going to go hard and heavy on WorldCoin next cycle, guys. But I'm waiting on this October 10th wick. I don't think we come take this macro low. This was the day it opened, and you know how that stuff is. It opens here, rips up. This is not an accurate, in my opinion, opening price, although it could be. There's just not enough history to tell, even though this goes back 3 years. There's not enough history to tell. It's the first bear market, so you just don't really know what it's going to do in the bear market, which is why I chart some of these older coins just to kind of maybe give some future ideas of what will happen on some of these newer coins that have not been through a bear market yet. Doesn't mean it has to work out that way, but it's better than having no idea whatsoever. Any other coins you guys want me to look at? Bitcoin moving it down a little here, guys. I'd like to see a pullback. I really would. I'll let you know in Discord if we're off stream, which obviously will be off stream if and when this happens. But if we get this pullback to 63K and I take it, I'll actually be interested somewhere around anywhere in this area, 64 to 65K. I'd be interested in longing if we get our signals. Thanos doesn't have any. I know where Thanos looking at that XRP. Thinking, gosh, that 22% bounce sure did look good. Hang on, guys. We're not done with the alts. Remember what I just showed you on alts. Remember what I just showed you, and it doesn't have to play out this time. But just remember, go to the weekly. Actually, I don't know if I showed you this or not. I know I showed you on, I showed you yesterday. So this is, I'm on the weekly here. This is the last cycle. This is the low, in my opinion, the low we just set yesterday is right there for Bitcoin and for all. So this is the low, okay, right there. Let me move that so you can see. I'm gonna put an arrow on it. And just like the alts are following Bitcoin, so I expect the same behavior. You got a pump here. This is Algorand. This is your John Q average coin. I'm sure your coin, whoever, I'm not talking to anybody particular, but I'm sure your coin is very special. I'm sure it's going to perform much better than our alts. But for everybody else, this is how our alts performed last time, the average ones. There were standouts. I'm sure there were exceptions. But so we hit the bottom here, bounced 50% bounce from the bottom. That's not correct. I lied to you. I just lied to you. This was the low Bitcoin set right here. I might lie to you again. Let me go figure it out. Set the low on right here, June 13th. Yeah, that's correct. All right, so you got a 50% bounce before you roll back over. That is still not correct. There we go. Okay, it's this one. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I look confused. It's because I'm on a different time frame. June 13th, right here, 2022. This is when you set this first little low in Bitcoin that we looked at. The low that I believe we set yesterday. You got to pump up over 2 weeks. It was actually 12 days of 31% before kind of pulling back, and then you meandered up and made another high before you came back and continued the bear leg down, okay? But this first little 2 week before you got to pull back, 12 days, you hit it right here, boom, to there. This took 2 weeks, 12 days, 31%, and then you came all the way back, almost all the way back before you continued the upside movement. You came back and took out the 786. Came out and took out the 786. So are we selling too soon if we bought yesterday? Are we looking for 35%? Are we selling too soon? I don't know, but I'm looking to buy again here, ride another wave up before we come back down and continue this bear leg. That's just how I'm playing it. If we get to certain signals, like an Alexander signal, if you guys don't have Alexander in your chart, you definitely are missing out. If you don't have Alexander, you need to get it. You can get it in the Discord for free. But the last Alexander signal we got was the sell signal. And just looking at Algorand here, it gave you a 37% move to the downside. So West Coast says his alts is best. John says his is special. Y'all's are way special. Special ed for sure. I'm sure you got some great alts. Kerry Benz wants to look at Zcash. We'll look at that in just a second. So anyway, Alexander gave you the buy signal or a sell signal. So if we do get a buy signal, I would be looking for a bounce. They're not always huge bounces like that. The last algo buy signal on Alexander gave you 3.5%, so still not too bad. The one before that, they're not all going to be huge. You catch some bigger ones, some smaller ones. The one before that gave you 14%. So if you do get that signal, if I get that signal, I'm definitely taking the trade. Let's look at Zcash. Alexander gave you the sell signal on Zcash. 60% moved down on Zcash from the time of Alexander's signal. Zcash looks just like XRP. Identical to XRP. Coming at least to the value area high. If you can see this big cluster of support and resistance here. You could kind of get stuck in this for a little bit. You have a massive imbalance, though. You're going to come recover this. I think Zcash comes back to at least $55 point of control. Actually, be a pretty good buy. Yeah, that looks good. If you get somewhere in there, $55. Point of control. You can see the volume. Look at the volume profile. Yeah, you have some support here, but I mean, it's nothing compared to the support you get there. I mean, just you can see the clear difference in support, in volume. I think you come there. Best case scenario, you could hold this at $130, but that doesn't even come close to filling this imbalance right here. So yeah, I think best case scenario, I think you come and hold that. You definitely don't want to get stuck back in this mud. I call this mud. This is mud. Look at this. Just stuck. Zcash is a stronger coin, but it is narrative driven. So it just depends. If the narrative stays strong on Zcash, I think you got a good chance. If you get stuck in this, I think Zcash is in trouble. But as it sits now, I don't think you get there. I think $50 probably worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you hold up here at $130. I just don't know. You got this imbalance that you're going to want to get. Those big vectors, high time frame vectors, not mitigated yet. All right, what else, guys? Any more coins before we move it on? Bitcoin just hanging out. Bitcoin just hanging out. I'd really like to see a pullback here. I closed this trade last night. I'd really like to get in this long. It looks like we want more upside, both technically now and historically. We should have more percentages to the upside here. We've only moved up about 14%, so we should have another 10% to the upside. If we could pull back here and then catch, let's see what that other 10%, I think I said 75. About 74, 75K right into the dang red box that I got set on the charts. But if we could pull it back here and then enter a trade somewhere around 64K, we could probably catch about a 15% move to the upside, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking for, but I'm not entering here. If we go, I just miss it. So, all right, guys. Well, it's been a good stream. We've got the weekend is here. I'll be in Discord the rest of the day. If I do take any trades, I will let you know. I'll let you know how I'm managing them. If you have any questions, hit me up in there, DM me, or post them in the Bitcoin or altcoin chat room. Let the other folks in on what you're curious about, because most of the time they have the same questions. So other than that, if there's nothing else, I'm going to get out of here, go kind of enjoy the weekend, and I appreciate you guys being here. Just to recap very briefly, we are looking for more upside here from Bitcoin. We're looking for about 10% more to the upside. That doesn't mean we can't pull back first. I would love to see a pullback first and then continuation for about 10% more, 74, 75K. And then we're looking for a new low. I'm looking for that low to come in around $55,000, okay? I actually think, and I told you guys, ultimately I think we dip below that and take out this 50K, 48K, this wick here, 48K-ish. I think that's going to be a fast wick, a big liquidation wick down, and then spring out of there. I think that's the ultimate plan. But I think we're months and months and months and months away from seeing this. I think for now, in the next few weeks, we do come see 55K, and then we're just going to bounce here. In 55 to 70K, somewhere in there, 55 to 70K. I think we just bounce. I think we're going to do that for several months. So this is exactly how I'm planning it. If you want to screenshot this, it's the weekly time frame. This is exactly how I'm planning it. Pay no attention to the length of time. This is what I'm looking for, and we're going to refer back to this, and I think I'm going to be pretty dang close. So, all right, guys, Carrie Benz, you're welcome. John, you're welcome. West Coast, Salt Chain, Thanos, my guy. All right, y'all, I will be in Discord if you need me, and I will see you next time.